You ever stop and wonder, how much time do I really have left? Not in a fearful way, but in a quiet, reflective moment, after a birthday, a hospital visit, or just a still night alone in your room, does the question echo back to you? If you've past 70, you know this truth more than most. The days feel more fragile, more sacred. But here's something even more profound. Your body is already speaking to you. Whispering, really. Tiny clues, subtle messages. You just have to learn how to listen. That's where elderly wisdom comes in. It's not about being old. It's about being aware. The kind of awareness that helps you shape the years ahead instead of waiting for them to happen to you. Today, we'll look at 7 quiet signs, scientifically backed signals that predict just how long and how well you might live after 70. These are the kinds of insights that can change lives, especially if you take action early. And it all begins with one of the simplest, most overlooked indicators of longevity. Walking speed. Yes, really. The way you move through the world, your pace, your stride, your steadiness, is far more about your future than most people realize. Studies have found again and again that seniors who maintain a strong walking pace live longer, stay sharper, and remain more independent. Let's meet Charles. He's 75. Every morning, rain or shine, he walks the same quiet neighborhood loop. He moves with purpose, not rushing, but steady. His back is straight. His feet roll forward with ease. No limping, no wobbling. Just a man in the rhythm of his stride. Then there's Everett. Also 75. Once a jogger, now he often pauses mid-walk to catch his breath. He clutches railings on steps. Crosswalks make him anxious. He hasn't fallen, but he's afraid he might. What's the difference? Muscle tone? Heart health? Coordination? Actually, all of the above. Because walking speed is not just about how fast your legs go, it's a reflection of your whole system. When you slow down, it's often because your foundation, your legs, your balance, even your brain is trying to keep up with the wear and tear of time. But here's the best part. This is something you can change. You can build strength again, improve circulation, reconnect your body and brain with simple movement. Elderly wisdom reminds us motion is medicine. If you've noticed your pace slowing, don't brush it off. Take it as a sign. Start with small, daily walks. Try light resistance exercises, maybe with ankle weights or even a sturdy chair. Make movement part of your everyday life. Because in a life well lived, longevity isn't won with big leaps. It's protected with every small, intentional step. Stay with us. The next sign may be hiding right in the palm of your hand. Now let's talk about something most people never pay attention to until they can't do it anymore. Your grip. Yes, your ability to hold on to things firmly, confidently, without shaking or strain is more than a matter of convenience. It's one of the most revealing indicators of how long and how well you'll live after 70. Researchers call grip strength a silent predictor because it often fades before any major illness arrives. Before a fall, before a diagnosis, before someone finally notices that something's off. But if you're tuned in, if you're living with elderly wisdom, you'll catch it early. And you'll know what to do. Take Arthur. He's 78. Used to be a carpenter. Even in retirement, he takes pride in the firmness of his handshake and the ease with which he opens jars, lifts groceries, or carries his tool bag around the yard. He's not trying to prove anything. He just never let go of the habits that kept his hands and his body strong. Then there's Martin. Also 78. He started dropping things. First the glass, then the garden hose. He laughs it off, says, just old age. But deep down, he feels the shift. Holding on to a full bag feels heavy. Lifting a pot from the stove feels unstable. It's subtle, but it's there. And here's what matters. When your grip weakens, it's rarely just about your hands. It often signals a broader decline: muscle loss, nerve issues, slowed reflexes. And that, in turn, can increase the risk of falls, dependence, even early mortality. That's why so many senior decluttering rules emphasize not just what you remove from your life, but how confidently you can manage the things you keep. From opening drawers to lifting boxes, grip strength is tied directly to senior home safety and a clutter-free living environment. But like walking speed, this too is changeable. You don't need a gym. Just a tennis ball, a hand gripper, a simple resistance band. Even carrying your grocery bags with intention can rebuild your hand strength over time. Try this tonight. Squeeze a ball. Notice the pressure, the control. If your hand feels weak or shaky, don't panic. But don't ignore it either. Remember, the hands that hold on to tools, family photos, or the railing on a rainy day, those hands are holding on to life. Strengthen them. Trust them. Let them remind you of your resilience. And now, take a deep breath. We're about to talk about something that goes beyond muscles, something that connects your body, your brain, and your very sense of stability. Because the next sign is balance. And whether or not you can stand on one leg may say more than you ever expected. How long can you stand on one foot? 10 seconds? 5? Maybe not at all? You might think balance is just a skill you lose with age. But what if I told you it's much more than that? It's a direct, proven window into how long you may stay strong, steady, and alive. This isn't just theory. Studies show that seniors who struggle to balance are more likely to fall, develop cognitive decline, and experience faster physical deterioration. But those who can maintain balance physically and mentally are far more likely to age with grace, clarity, and independence. Think about it. Balance isn't just a physical act. It's a conversation between your muscles, your joints, your eyes, and your brain. And when that conversation gets interrupted, everything starts to slip. Now let me introduce you to two women. Diana, 72, never considered herself an athlete, but every morning she does a little stretch routine by her bedroom window. Part of that routine? Standing on one leg for 10 seconds, sometimes longer, without support. She wobbled a bit at first, but over the months, her stance grew stronger. She laughs now, calling it her invisible shield against aging. Then there's Lois, 73, once full of energy, but lately she's been grabbing onto furniture, stepping cautiously, and sitting down more than she used to. When asked to try standing on one foot for 10 seconds, she chuckled and nearly tipped over. What she didn't realize is this moment wasn't just a slip. It was a signal. Balance issues don't happen overnight, but they rarely fix themselves either. Left unaddressed, they can lead to the one thing most seniors fear: a fall. A single fall can spiral into surgery, long recovery, and the loss of independence. That's why so many healthy aging lifestyle guides encourage seniors to test and train balance just as often as strength. Because stability is what allows you to reach for a shelf, walk through a cluttered room, or step out of the tub without hesitation. Yes, home organization after 60 matters, not just for cleanliness, but for safety. But even the most clutter-free living space won't protect you if your own body wavers in motion. So what can you do? Start small. Stand near a chair or wall. Lift one foot off the ground, even if it's just an inch. Time yourself. Practice daily. Try heel-to-toe walking across the room. Explore beginner-friendly balance routines or gentle Tai Chi in the mornings. And if you find yourself needing support, don't feel ashamed. Feel informed. Because elderly wisdom doesn't come from avoiding change. It comes from facing it with courage. Your balance is your body's way of telling you how grounded you truly are. Listen, strengthen, and step forward with confidence. Now, As we continue this journey inward, we shift from the body to the quiet hours of the night. Because what happens while you sleep or struggle to could reveal the next chapter of your health story. There's a kind of silence that only comes at night. When the world stills, and all you're left with are your thoughts, your breath, and the weight or lightness of sleep. But what if I told you that the way you sleep, how deeply, how regularly, how restfully, is one of the most powerful predictors of how long you'll live? This isn't poetic talk. It's science. After the age of 70, your body leans more than ever on sleep to repair, to restore, to remember. A consistent sleep routine becomes not just a comfort, but a shield, a quiet form of protection against everything from memory loss to immune decline to heart complications. Let me tell you about two gentlemen. Harold, 76, goes to bed around the same time each night. No screens, no midnight snacks. He reads a few pages of an old novel, drifts into slumber, and wakes up just as the sun begins to rise. His body follows a rhythm. It trusts the night to do its job. Then there's Eugene, 75. He used to sleep well, but now his nights are filled with restlessness. He tosses and turns, wakes up 3 or 4 times. Sometimes he just sits at the kitchen table, staring into the dark. He chalks it up to aging, but each morning he feels more drained. The fog doesn't lift. His energy fades faster than it should. What Eugene doesn't know is that his sleep, or the lack of it, is quietly weakening the very systems he depends on. Poor sleep affects blood pressure, brain clarity, and mood. It's even been linked to early signs of dementia and increased risk of chronic disease. Elderly wisdom reminds us that restful sleep isn't optional. It's vital. Especially when you've passed 70. It's the overnight maintenance system your body relies on. But just like a cluttered house can block your peace, a cluttered mind can block your rest. That's why senior decluttering rules aren't just about your closet. They're about your habits too. Clear the screens before bedtime. Simplify your evening routine. Create a safe, clutter-free living space that invites calm. If you often wake up exhausted, if your nights feel longer than your days, it's time to take notice. Even small adjustments can help. Early morning sunlight, herbal tea, light stretching, a comfortable pillow. And don't ignore signs of deeper problems, like sleep apnea or anxiety. There's strength in asking questions. In seeking help. Rest is not weakness. It's resilience. The sleep you get tonight is building the version of yourself you'll be tomorrow, and for many tomorrows after that. So as you lay your head down tonight, ask yourself, am I giving my body the peace it needs, or pushing it to survive on borrowed time? Now, as we move into our next sign, we return to something so deeply human, so essential. It's often the first thing to change when something is wrong. Your appetite. There's something deeply comforting about a good meal. The warmth of familiar flavors. The joy of preparing something with your own hands. The simple satisfaction of finishing a plate and feeling nourished. But what happens when that joy quietly disappears? When food no longer excites you? When your appetite starts shrinking? When meals become more of a task than a pleasure? This isn't just about being a little less hungry. After 70, changes in appetite, especially sudden ones, can reveal far more than just a shift in taste. They can point to hidden imbalances, weakening systems, and even emotional withdrawal. Let me tell you about two women. Patricia, 74, wakes up each morning and prepares herself a small, beautiful breakfast. Scrambled eggs with greens, a slice of whole grain toast, warm tea. She eats slowly, grateful. Throughout the day, she chooses colorful fruits, hearty soups, and grilled vegetables. Her appetite is stable, her energy strong, her spirit calm. Then there's Marilyn, also 74. She used to love cooking, but lately, she just doesn't feel like eating. She skips meals, relies on crackers and canned soup, and barely notices when a day goes by with hardly any real nourishment. Her clothes fit looser now, and she tires more easily. She brushes it off, saying, "Maybe I'm just getting older." But here's the truth Marilyn doesn't see. Loss of appetite in older adults is not just a side effect of aging. It can be a warning sign of something deeper: digestive issues, hormonal shifts, depression, or even early cognitive changes. Your appetite is the body's way of asking for fuel nutrients it needs to rebuild muscles, repair cells, fight off illness, and protect memory. When that signal goes quiet, it's time to listen harder. This is why so many healthy aging lifestyle recommendations focus not only on what you eat, but how often and how mindfully you eat. Meals should be rich in protein, healthy fats, fresh vegetables, and fiber. But they should also be moments of connection, either with others or with yourself. Living in a well-organized, pleasant kitchen space can also reignite interest in food. That's where home organization after 60 becomes more than a tidying habit. It becomes a source of inspiration. A clean table, uncluttered counters, and a cozy, welcoming atmosphere can make you want to cook again. Want to care for yourself again. So ask yourself, are you still enjoying your meals? Do you look forward to cooking, even if it's simple? Are you maintaining a stable weight and the energy you need to live your day fully? If not, take gentle steps to return to food as food as a form of nourishment, not just necessity. Eat with music playing. Invite someone to join you. Add color and texture to your plate. Your appetite is more than a hunger signal. It's a mirror of your vitality. And the food you choose today may determine whether you walk, think, and feel strong in the days to come. Now, we move to something even deeper. Something you can't see in the mirror or measure on a scale. Yet it touches every part of your life. Your heart, your breath, your mood. Its stress. And how you carry it or let it go could decide everything about the years ahead. Stress doesn't always show up in loud ways. Sometimes it's a quiet heaviness, a tightening in your chest, a restless night, a short temper you didn't mean to have. And after 70, it's not just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. Chronic stress weakens your immune system. It raises blood pressure. It accelerates inflammation. In your body, the root of nearly every age-related illness, heart disease, cognitive decline, even certain cancers. But here's the most heartbreaking part. Many seniors believe it's just part of getting older. They carry the weight of worry, like it's their duty. Bills, health issues, family tension, loneliness. Let me share with you two stories. Leonard, 76, has plenty of reasons to be stressed. His wife passed away 3 years ago. His son lives across the country, and he's managing arthritis flare-ups. But Leonard has developed his own quiet tools. A 10-minute breathing routine, a walk every afternoon, a gratitude journal. He's not pretending life is easy. He's just refusing to let fear run the show. Then there's Albert, 75. Every small inconvenience, an unpaid bill, a missed call builds into a storm inside him. He watches the news all day, rarely smiles, and feels constantly on edge. His blood pressure has crept higher, his sleep is fractured, and he often forgets simple things, not because of age, but because his nervous system is exhausted. Elderly wisdom reminds us, stress is not always visible, but its consequences always are. That's why creating a calming environment becomes vital, not just emotionally, but physically. Whether it's clearing the clutter off your nightstand, simplifying your paperwork, or creating a cozy space for tea or meditation, small shifts in your environment can reduce mental clutter too. These are declutter, regret-free choices that bring peace, not just order. If you're carrying tension daily, you don't need a vacation. You need practices, ones that fit your rhythm and personality. a little Tai Chi in the morning sun, laughter with a neighbor, turning off the news an hour earlier, even tending a plant. Joy doesn't erase stress, it balances it. And remember, downsizing tips for seniors aren't just about stuff. They're about lightening emotional loads too, removing commitments or routines that no longer serve you, saying no without guilt, saying yes to stillness. So pause for a moment. How do you respond when life throws something unexpected your way? Do you tighten up or breathe deeper? Do you isolate or reach out? Every time you choose calm over chaos, you're giving your heart, your brain, and your entire body a better chance to keep going strong. The storms won't stop, but you can build a stronger boat. Now, we move to the final and perhaps most quietly powerful sign of all. It isn't in your muscles, or your balance, or your plate. It's in your connections, your conversations, the people you still reach for, and who still reach for you. Loneliness is quiet. It doesn't knock on your door. It doesn't announce itself with symptoms. But it lingers in long afternoons, in meals eaten alone, in birthdays spent waiting for a phone to ring. And for people over 70, loneliness doesn't just hurt emotionally. It shortens lives. Yes, science now shows that social connection is one of the most powerful predictors of how long you'll live. In fact, it's as influential as diet or exercise. People who maintain meaningful relationships, friends, family, community live longer, experience fewer health problems, and even show slower signs of cognitive decline. Let's meet two women. Estelle, 78, lives in a small apartment. Nothing fancy. But every Wednesday, her friend Mary comes over with muffins. They laugh, they talk, they share stories about their grandkids and old dreams. Estelle also volunteers at a senior center and joins a local poetry group. Her calendar isn't full, but her heart is. Then there's Vera, also 78. She lives just 2 blocks away. Her home is quiet, too quiet. Most days are spent in silence. Her daughter calls every few weeks, but the days blur together. She's lost contact with her church group. She hasn't had a real conversation in over a month. Vera's health is beginning to fade, not from illness, but from disconnection. Her mood is lower. Her memory, once sharp, now feels fuzzy. Her steps are slower, not from age, but from lack of joy. Because the truth is, when we stop reaching out, we start fading in. Human beings were never meant to live alone, especially not in the later chapters of life. That's why senior home safety isn't just about grab bars and good lighting. It's also about emotional security. A house full of things but empty of people isn't safe. It's a risk to the heart. So if you've been pulling back, if the phone calls have grown less frequent, the invitations less accepted, let this be your reminder. It's not too late to reconnect. Reach out to an old friend. Join a local book club. Walk with a neighbor. Even send a letter. These aren't small things. They're life-extending, soul-restoring acts of courage. And if your space feels overwhelming, if clutter is part of what's keeping you from welcoming people in, consider this. Senior decluttering rules aren't about getting rid of your life. They're about clearing space for it to come back in. Let your home reflect what you value now. Presence, peace, connection. Because a truly healthy aging lifestyle doesn't happen in isolation. It happens in the warmth of company, the depth of conversation, the simple act of being remembered, and remembering others. So now that we've walked through the 7 signs, your walking speed, grip strength, balance, sleep, appetite, stress, and relationships, pause with me. Not in fear, but empower. You know your body better now. You know what to watch for, what to gently improve, and most importantly, you know that nothing is set in stone. Elderly wisdom means understanding that every day you wake up is a day you can choose. Choose movement. Choose nourishment. Choose stillness. Choose friendship. And most of all, choose to stay alive in every sense of the word. If this video spoke to something in you, please like it, share it, and subscribe to our channel. Turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next message. Made just for you, we're building a space here for clarity, for comfort, for those living their later years with strength and grace. Your support means everything. And if there's one thing you're taking from today, just one sign that spoke loudest to you, drop it in the comments below. Your words may just light the way for someone else walking this path beside you. Thank you for spending these moments with us. We'll see you again very soon.